Hello all and welcome to my corner here in the WTSM TV studios. Welcome to iOS, Izzy on Sports. Man, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I got a big guest here, a guest that's already defended me. Look, I don't even need a bodyguard right now at this point in time. AEW Star Saraya in the building. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh man, I'm all good. I can't complain.
Yeah,
can't complain at all. Oh, obviously Saraya's in town. AEW Dynamite comes to town tomorrow, February 7th at the Footprint Center. That's at 5:30 tomorrow. You can get your tickets at AEW.com and AEWTix.com as well. So yeah, and I ain't gonna lie to you, like Justin Roberts he wasn't grilling me, but like it wasn't really a grill. It was like as he was talking about AEW, he would go right into the pitch, and I was like, oh well, I suck as a host. I was like, I'm just an awful host.
No, I love that. No, you're a fantastic host already. You're killing it. But it actually is way better for me that you remember because I forget everything, and I have to look over at Adam like, what do I say? Where are we?
Cool. Okay.
So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Well, at least Adam's here, so we'll both just be easing it. Just ease me and looking at him.
Like, where am I? Yeah.
But look, to just start off right from the top, wrestling family. I mean, as awesome as that sounds from the outside looking in, I mean, how was it like?
Oh man, growing up, it was I got bullied a little bit in school, but then I just, give them a couple one of these and then they didn't bully me anymore. No, but seriously, everyone was like intimidated by the fact that my whole family wrestled, but then my parents did a show where over 2,000 people turned up, which was a lot for, it was year 2000.
Yeah.
And the millennium, and I saw all my classmates there, and I was like, you do like wrestling, you're all here. And it was really cool. But I was also I was not great in school. Stay in school, please. I know that's cliche, but please do it. But I wasn't very good in school because all I wanted to do was be a wrestler. So I traveled and missed school and did all these things. But thankfully, it worked out for me. But it could have got me in a lot of trouble for sure.
And that's the best part about this, too. A lot of people can actually see what you've gone through, at least in terms of the big screen.
Yeah.
Fighting with My Family, the movie came out. A literal superhero played you, Florence Pugh. And just how was that like? Because a lot of people can't say that they have a movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been 5 years, from a couple of days ago. It's been 5 years since it was released, but Dwayne actually told me about it in 2014. So it was 10 years ago. I officially got told they were making the movie 10 years ago. That's crazy. That we were making a movie on my life, and I was just like, what the heck? Like, this is bananas. So I was just 21 at the time. But what's really bizarre is me and Florence were sitting there at Sundance Film Festival where my movie was getting played. I didn't realize it was going to be as big as it was. And she just looked at me. She was like, I'm not used to playing someone that's not dead. So it's like, it's very bizarre, but here we are. But yeah, I can say like, hell yeah, I have a movie about my life, and it's still doing really well. It was the #1 movie in the UK, and it was like number 2 or 3 out here. But we were going up against like a Marvel movie, and I'm like, we can't freaking go against that.
And it was dope. I mean, it was exciting. I mean, and I'm pretty sure you can even match the excitement. And after WrestleMania 30, AJ Lee, she has an open challenge for the Divas Championship. You come out there already NXT champion, and you beat Paige. You beat AJ Lee.
It's okay. People still call me Paige. It's totally fine. Yeah, it was. So the day before, obviously, Dwayne had told me, hey, we're going to make a movie on your life. And also, guess what? You're debuting tomorrow, and you're going to be Divas champion, and to not tell anybody. So I had to keep in, I'm 21 years old, and I had to pretend I didn't know that I was just gonna have my dream was gonna come true the next day. And on top of that, I have a movie. It's absolutely bonkers. So then the next day came along, and then they were just they didn't tell me, so I didn't think it was gonna happen until 10 minutes before doors was about to open. And then Fit Finlay had come up to me and was like, "Hey, we're gonna debut you, and you're gonna win the Divas Championship." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Can you cuss on here?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" I was like, I was like, "Holy crap!" And it was just the most wonderful thing ever. I was like, man, it's truly happening. And then Vince had told me at the time, he was just like, my character in NXT was more of a badass Paige, but this time he was like, you need to be more vulnerable with her. You need to be you're genuinely coming out to congratulate her, and then you accidentally win this championship, and then you're the underdog, and I'm not used to being an underdog kind of character. So, and then he also wanted me to wear purple too, so that was a whole different kettle of fish for me. I'm like, me in color, crazy. So yeah, and so walking out though, and luckily NXT had started getting some momentum at the time, and it was the first pay-per-view we had on the WWE network at the time, and so people there, at least there was a lot of British people around, they knew who I was.
Yeah.
So we got a really good reaction. I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And then the next week, it was just back to just American fans, and no one knew who I was. I was like walking out to cricket, so now I'm the champion, so I had to like build from the ground up, but it was just wonderful. I was such a baby too. I was like, you know, I look at the girls now who are in AEW and they're all like 21, 22, 23. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how long have I been old? Tell me. It's crazy. It's absolutely bonkers, yeah.
And look, even being as a wrestler, it comes with so much, especially with injuries. Unfortunately, you had to retire for a split second, 2018, if I'm correct. And then, like, just amazingly, you and Bryan Danielson, Adam Copeland in that order. Well, not in that order, but you guys actually
Even
come out of retirement. Christian as well.
too, yeah.
Yeah, like, can you describe the experience of just being so down after retirement and then just coming back, especially in AEW, the pop that you got as well?
I know. It was really, really cool. You know what? Like, I didn't know I was going to be clear. Tony was just taking a chance of just bringing me on board, not knowing what I was going to be doing. He just wanted me to be part of the family, which made me feel really, really good. And so he was like, you know what, let's get your neck checked out and just see where we are, you know, and if you're not fine, then it doesn't matter. We still want you to be here. So I was like, cool. So on Halloween last year, I went and got it checked, and I did the CT, the X-ray, the MRI, and my neck was fine. And just for every fucking mark on the internet, okay? This doctor isn't a wrestling doctor. This doctor did NBA players, NFL players, NHL players. He did A-list celebrities, so he's not going to ruin his career for someone like me, you know, when he has his long list of extremely famous friggin', you know, patients. So he said, I'm absolutely fine, and I can go as quick as I want or as slow as I want. He was like, but my fluid is fine, like around my spinal cord. And I asked him, I was like, will I be paralyzed? And he was like, absolutely not. You have that cushion now. You're good. So it was very bizarre. I called my family, crying my eyes out. I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I never thought this would happen for me. And then I told Tony, and he was like, let's fucking go. You know, that's his thing. Let's fucking go. And so, yeah, we ended up having my first match back, which was not good. I'm sorry, Britt Baker, for that. But I was just so rusty. And like my first promo, I was so rusty. And after that, I told myself, I was like, I shouldn't have come back. I'm so bad. I'm not the same as I used to be. But I stopped listening to the internet and just was like, I'm going to have some fun now. I don't think I'm 100% the way, like, as good as I was, but I feel good in a way where I have my confidence. I'm the most confident I've ever been. Yeah. And I'm happy with where my character is. I'm happy with the amount I'm wrestling. I'm happy with, you know, the storylines I'm in. And I couldn't, you know, I don't have to take like 25 German suplexes to prove to the internet that my neck is fine.
Right, no, and I think you're amazing, just as you were back then. So, I mean, even looking at it right now, we have Dale Hellestrade on the main event. He was a three-time Super Bowl champion, and he talks about all the injuries he's been through. And you don't have to like go too deep into detail with this, but he goes, he had the leg injury, and he said every time he stepped like a weird way after the surgery and after he got healthy, it was kind of like a oh crap moment.
You freak out.
Yeah. Do you still feel that way at some point in time?
So yeah, a lot of it is mental rather than physical. Because physically I'm fine, but like the first, I would say 6 months of me coming back, I was worried about everything. Like, don't touch me from the neck up, don't do that. Like I was just like very, very cautious, which is a good way to be. Yeah. And the girls were very safe with me, and they're so wonderful. And then I'm the one now who's like, give me like 25 German suplexes, Statlander, if I'm feeling like it that day. And the girls have to kind of reel me back, like, slow down. But yeah, it is very mental that, after a match, you're going to be stiff everywhere. Even if you're not injured, you're going to be so sore. Once the adrenaline rush, like, leaves your body, you're like, oh, why do I do this kind of thing? Like, you're so sore, And so, you have doctors there that are wonderful, and they're making sure they're checking on you. They give you your electrolytes as soon as you walk out the ring, and, they're there for you. They stretch you out, everything you need. And so, like, the first couple of times I came back, and I was like, it's sore. And then he was like, it's going to be sore. You haven't wrestled in 5 years. It's going to be sore. But, yeah, they're just so... They're so careful, and they're so respectful of, my wrestling boundaries that, they're just wonderful. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, that's good. And like I said, you've been doing great work in
Thank
AEW.
you.
And even and I just remember vividly just one of your promos, I believe it was with Britt Baker, when you're just saying, look, I even got hit by a car at a point in time, and I still wrestled.
The same day.
And I feel like you're so passionate more in AEW. Do you think you have that, source of, like, leeway, or just do you feel like AEW gives you that sort of freedom?
They do give me freedom. They do give me freedom. Like, the first promo I did, I completely shit the bed. It was so bad. But I hadn't been in a ring. That's no excuse, but I hadn't been in a ring in like 5 years. and I let the nerves get the better of me. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I just felt like I just didn't know who I was at that point. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. Like, so I just kind of like shit the bed with that. But slowly I was just like, stop caring. And I stopped caring. And so like the promos started getting better. And now I'm having like a lot of fun with it. I'm having so much fun with the promos. Like we're laughing every time like we're on set and stuff like that. And I have to like try and stop myself from calling Ruby her real name. Like every promo, the only time I mess it up is if I call her Dory. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, Saraya, please. And I'm like, I can't help it. The promo's good, but I keep calling you by your real name. But yeah, like we have a lot of freedom to say and do whatever we want. Like sometimes it's nice to get a little structure where Tony would be like, we do need to get this point across, and that's good to have because then you can build around it. But if you get nothing at all, you're like, oh, what do I say? What do I do? But eventually, you know, I have such wonderful brains around me. We can come up with something fun together. So, and the first few promos, John Moxley actually helped me a lot with
really?
them. Yeah, so like, you know, one of my best friends is Renee, and so, you know, I'm friends with her hubby too, and he was one of the catalysts in getting me over to AEW as well. He was on the phone with me and stuff like that, and so with the promo, since I shit the bed the first time, I was just like, I just need help. Like, I don't feel confident in myself, you know, and he was just like, so that promo with me and Britt where I'm like talking about him being real. Like, I'm talking about real life stuff. Like, yeah, I am sober. Yeah, I was a mess. Yes, the world saw me. My tapes go on the freaking internet from when I was 19. Like, I just was like, just all the struggles that I went through for that year and a half. I was being real, and he was telling me I had to be real. He was just like, that's the perfect promo. Stop trying to be a character right now and just speak your truth kind of thing, you know? And so he was helping me with that kind of stuff, and he really, really did help me. It made me come out my shell and made me feel way more comfortable. Because people always throw that kind of ammo at you where they use anything that you did that was wrong to them. They throw that kind of in your face. But I look back on that stuff and I'm like, it's not a mistake. It's not something I regret. It's something that's helped me build character. So I don't regret anything that I did or I went through or anything like that. I'm glad I went through it.
Yeah, and you grew from it as well. Especially, like I said, you even mentioned you having a whole lot of fun in AEW. Yeah. Ruby Soho, also a Hoosier from Hammond, Indiana. She's from Lafayette. Love Ruby Soho. But even then, just the Outcast. I mean, we kind of figured how that all came about. You, Tony Storm, now Timeless Tony Storm, Ruby Soho. Just how much fun did you guys have with that?
Oh man, we're literally the best of friends. Even if Tony's doing her own thing, like backstage, we're always together and. Anytime Tony needs help with something, we'll do that. Vice versa. Anytime we need help, we do something. We're just stuck to each other like glue. And it's really nice to have genuine friends. Just in any field that you're in, it's really nice to have someone you feel comfortable with and you're having fun with. And we were just like, if we have a breakup, we have to retire. Obviously, that didn't happen. We didn't retire, but we were just like, we're very thankful that we have each other for sure. And we are having the most fun that we've ever had in our careers. So.
Yeah, and then also just fast forward up to Wembley last year.
Yeah.
Oh man, just an amazing fatal 4-way match, and then you end up in your hometown winning the AEW Women's Championship. Just describe that feeling, and even been with your family too.
Oh my
gosh.
Of that. Yeah. So the wonderful thing about Tony too is, you know, he got Queen for my entrance, which like he surprised me with it because I mentioned having it before to like Mike Manzuri, who was like the head production and all that kind of stuff, and. They were just like, I don't think we're going to get it because it's quite expensive. You know, it's ridiculous to get that just for one day or whatever the case may be. But like the night before, we were at Wembley and we were doing our thing and talking to the girls and all that kind of stuff and our producer. And then he walks up and he was like, hey, I got you the song. And I was like, what? And then we had planned for my family to be a part of it, which they never got to be a part of anything wrestling related in my world before, at least like with WWE and stuff like that. They got to do stuff for the movie because they had to.
Right, yeah.
But like, you know, like I love WWE so much, but like they never really utilized my family, which always disappointed me, you know. And so with Tony, he's just like, let's bring them all out. Yeah, they can walk you down the ramp. Yeah, blah, blah. And I think that was one of the things that kind of made him sway when it comes to the championship because I don't know if 100% I was definitely gonna win it, but definitely like I got, you know, like the bulldog entrance with the music and my family, and it was just a very big deal. And I'm really, really thankful that, and I cried because, you know, with championship, everyone was like, oh, it's fake or whatever, but I never thought I'd hold a championship ever again. I never thought that would happen for me. I never thought I'd be wrestling. I never thought I'd be in Wembley Stadium. I never thought I'd be walking down the ring with my family. I never thought I would win a championship ever again in my lifetime. So it was just like very overwhelming, but it was really special. And the British fans, sorry to be biased, but they're some of the best fans in the world. They're all rowdy and they like to sing and they like to get drunk and just like, I can live vicariously through them now because I'm sober now, Adam. Just making, 5 years. I haven't broke it, I promise.
No, exactly. And congratulations to that too. Congratulations to that as well. And
thank you.
Just even going through AEW and holding the women's championship, losing to Hikaru Shida, dropping it back to Timeless Toni Storm as well.
I wish there's only thing that I wish was a little bit different. I wish it was me that lost to Tony.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, at that point, people fucking hated me. Like and they still do. They do. They hate me online, and it is what it is. But like, I love that because I get booed to shit, and it like works in my favor.
Right. Exactly.
And more people want to like post about me, and there's more engagement, and people don't realize that you're just like, you're talking shit, but it's helping me. I promise. Like
exactly.
You are elevating me. And so, like, I wish it was me because, Tony was on her up and up, becoming the biggest face, man or woman, in the company. Like, right now, she's one of the biggest things there. And she did that herself.
Yes.
Like, she fucking did that. And so, she was on the up and up, and I was like, in LA, Hollywood freaking Tony, going against the most hated fucking female or person in AEW. It just would have been something like, it would have been even bigger. But I'm glad that Shida got the championship again and she made history, becoming, the first ever 3-time.
Yes.
But I just wish it was like, she would have had it either, she had it longer, or I would have just lost to Tony and then they could have gone into a storyline. Yeah. That's the only thing. But, Tony can't know what he's doing, so I trust the process. It's just me personally, I would have loved to have faced Tony in LA and just dropped the title to her, that would be.
Yeah. And she's still on a roll right now.
She's killing it.
Yes, killing it right now.
And she has like, just so people know, like RJC is such a beautiful creative mind. And, he's had like a big hand in helping Tony with this. And it's really, those two together, like doing this character stuff is so good. And like the one-liners and stuff, I'm like, that's so funny. And they'll like, I'll ask them like, what are you going to say this week? And they're just really great together. And Tony delivers it perfectly. I don't think anyone else could do that character without it being like hokey. Tony does it. And she can make it last a lifetime. She's so good at it. And it's so, like, she just delivers it so, I'm really proud of her, you guys. And it's not bias. I can be biased, of course. I'm just saying from an outside perspective, like, putting friendship aside for a second, if anybody else, no one else could do that character apart from Tony. Because she knows how to do it to perfection. And people, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, really, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. And with Toni Storm doing her thing, what's the goals for the Outcasts?
I mean, Ruby needs to get a head out of her ass when it comes to her new hubby in the business. So he needs to go. He needs to go. I'll get rid of him slowly but surely. I'll get rid of him.
And you got that peep over, that look over. Like,
I keep looking over it, I'm just, I pretty much have a babysitter to make sure I don't go off script. Good old Adam.
Well, then, even then, because you talk about all the negativity online on social media, you see that with Tony Khan too. But you spoke highly about Tony Khan
Tony's
just
awesome.
as well as Justin too. Yeah. Can you just describe a little bit of Tony Khan?
Yeah, Tony, you know what? He's like one of the boys, but he knows when to be a boss, right? Mm-hmm. And he has a good team of people around him as well. But he's very generous with his talent. Like when you want to have a day off, you could have a day off whenever you want to. You don't have to be in the hospital for it. You can be like, hey, I'm not mentally doing very well today. Or, someone is not small if someone's dog dies or anything like that. Right. But it's like the day of, if you're at the show and you're supposed to have a match and you're like, listen, like, I'm really sad or my dog died or something. He's like, go home. I'll see you next week. Like, he doesn't think twice about helping you. Right. And he's brought on like a team of like people to therapists and stuff like that. Like, so when you're at work and if you're having a bad day, like you don't have to keep it in. There's like a team of therapists that you can go to within the crew that you can sit down, and it's confidential, obviously. They're not going to say anything but like you can sit down with these people. He's always taking care of the talent. He's always taking care of us. Like and it's, I mean, you can't ask for anything. And like with the freedom too, like he lets you do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. Like if I wanted to like be like, hey, I need to take next week off because I want to go shoot this thing, like either a content shoot or something just small like that. Yeah. Or just like I want to go try out for this, whatever the case may be. He'll be like, go do it. Yeah, he supports it. He's very supportive. So it's really nice. It's really nice. He treats us with respect. He treats us kindly, and that's all you can ask for.
Oh, that's dope. And also, you have a tag match this week, right?
I do have a tag match. Ruby got me in a tag match this week. I was like, how could you? That's not even part of my contract to wrestle. I was just joking, but yeah, I have to wrestle this week, I guess. But yeah, it's me and Ruby against Chris Statlander and Willow. And then you have Stokely on the outside, and we have Harley on the outside. And I'm really enjoying Harley being a part of the Outcasts. You know, like, she worked her butt off. She was doing QTV for a while, and she hit me and Ruby up. She was like, hey, do you mind if I do something with you guys? So we came up with an idea, and Tony loved it, and we go in every week with the most outlandish thing that Harley's gonna do, and Harley's always like, let's do it. And I absolutely adore her. I really do. She's wonderful.
Oh, she is a personality. Like,
she is, and she's just like how she is, like, on TV. Like, she has the energy. I don't even know how to describe her energy. You know, like a Malinois shepherd. You know, like those really, like, energetic dogs.
Yeah.
That are just, like, on 100 all the time, but it's not annoying. It's very endearing. Like, she's constantly like, yeah. She's like always on 100, and I love her for it. Because there's some people that can be annoying if they're on 100 all the time. You know what I mean? But she is not. Like, she's special for sure.
That's cool.
She keeps us entertained.
And look, I'm crunching time right now, so I got to fit 2 questions into. Oh no, it's not your fault at all. It's actually my fault. But just crunching two questions into one. I mean, what are your goals for 2024 in AEW, and do you have any advice for just any of the younger generation?
Yeah. So first goals, I would love to do women's tag team championships. I don't think we need to be oversaturated with championships, but I feel like it's something that you can have a lot of women involved in. Like, there'd be more bodies, you know, that we can put on TV and stuff like that. So I feel like that would be something really special. And I'm sure Tony's, like, very open to that, you know, because he loves the women. But so that's one of my goals, and just to keep making the division bigger and better and stuff like that, because seeing a growth. I mean, like, we're getting more matches and more TV time, and, you know, we're being utilized, more stories. I mean, yeah. And so when it comes to advice, I would give the same advice that Dwayne gave to me first, which would be to stay humble and hungry. Yeah. Humble because you want people to be able to work with you, and hungry because you don't want to get complacent. You always want to be setting goals. You want to be like, okay, I'm fine where I am. You want to constantly be striving for more. And also to save your money.
Yes.
Save your money. I know once you start getting money, it starts burning a hole in your pocket. But you need to save your money for long term. And then also to have patience, because not everything comes overnight. And do not take unnecessary bumps.
Do not take, that is yes. You need to put that on like a frame.
I try and tell some of the girls, because they're all like, you know, like, I was the same though. I can't argue with it. Like, they were all the same age as, you know, me when I was coming into the American wrestling. You know, they were like 21, 22. They are. And I wanted to take a bunch of bumps, and I didn't care what the older, you know, generation was saying to me. I was like, I'm gonna do what I want. I love taking bumps.
Right.
So now it's me being like, please don't take as many bumps, and they're just like, no.
Yeah. I mean, you got guys like, we talked about Darby Allin and with Justin Roberts. Darby Allin.
Darby's crazy. I don't know how he's not like broken in half already, but I swear to gosh, he's like Elastigirl or something like that, because last week I saw him and I was just like, are you good? Because I saw like the spin in the neck thing.
Oh, yeah, that was awful.
But he went to like a good chiropractor or whatever it is, and he was like, he's fine, he's up and about. And he, like, you know, as soon as he did that though, like AEW was straight away like, let's try and like make sure he's okay. Yeah. Like crazy, but it's him. He wants to do all that stuff. Like, he wants to take all those bumps, he wants to do all these crazy things, like, but he does it well, and he can handle it. His body can handle it because he's made of rubber. But yeah, like, he's fine.
He's dope.
He's fine, and he's a great wrestler. People love him.
Yes,
my
he really
nephews
is.
love him. When we went to Wembley, they did not give a flying fuck about me. Can I just say they barely get to see me as it is, and like they have like a shirt that said, "I'm here to see Saraya," and then on the back it was like, actually it's Darby Allin. I was like, you little. But like, I got to introduce them, so they were happy.
Oh, but okay. Very last question. For
okay. Sorry, I ramble.
But Sting's retirement. Oh man, well, he's having a tag match for the tag team champions tomorrow. I mean, just your thoughts on Sting, the career he's had, and just seeing him retire as well.
Well, yeah. So I mean, he's another one we thought would never come back again.
Yes.
You know, and so like it was really good to have him for the time that we have had him, and we're lucky to be sharing a show and sharing a ring with the guy, and he's had a great run. Like, he's done everything he needs to do, and he's just a legend, and he's very iconic. And you know what's really special about him is that when he's backstage, he always gives everyone time. Like, yeah, he's like, he never looks annoyed or frustrated that people keep like walking up to him being like, because it's Sting, of course you want to get all the advice that you can.
Yeah.
But he just is very patient with everybody, and he loves it. He loves to give back to the wrestling world, and like, we're just very lucky to have a guy like him on board, and he's going to be missed for sure.
Awesome, man. Look, thank you for joining in with us. Like,
you.
we really appreciate it. AEW's coming to town tomorrow, February 7th at the Footprint Center at 5:30 p.m. Saraya will be on AEW Rampage. That actually takes right after AEW Dynamite. So
stay and watch.
Yes, you have to stay. It don't matter what your bedtime is. Like, just stay. So when we come back, we got to get into the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury as well. They both have been making some huge moves. We got to jump right into it here at iOS. Izzy on Sports here at WTSM TV.